The press are having a field day. Lots of theories, but nothing approaching the truth.
You expect anything different? Just be glad your name didn't get leaked. That's the last thing we need.
No trace of the Grace Group either.
Then we best get out there and do what we do.
Got a sec?
You rang?
I wonder if Durkin gave me access to George Austin's apartment, like he promised.
Have you tried going over there?
Not yet.
Well then.
I know that there are a lot of self-help groups in New York, but I've never heard of any that could do that.
Whoever they are, we'll get to the bottom of it. I promise you that.
Hi.
Yes, miss?
My name is Rosa Angela Blackwell. I was told you'd be expecting me?
Is this about George?
That's right.
I still can't believe it. But here's the key. 12th floor, penthouse A.
Thanks. Did George ever mention the Grace Group?
Grace Group? Does it have to do with Grace Church?
It might.
I know he often went to Grace Church services, but he never mentioned any Grace Group. Sorry.
That'd look amazing on my bathroom wall.
Darling, that thing's bigger than your entire bathroom.
I'd never sneak it past the doorman. No, it looks really fragile and expensive. Is that a genuine Ming? It must have cost George a fortune. A saucepan and some cooking implements. They don't look like they've ever been used. Bok choy, garam masala, quinoa, branzino.
It's either a shopping list or a voodoo spell.
A pedal-operated garbage can. I think they might be candlesticks. Possibly. It looks like a regular lamp. If I switch it off, it'll be too dark to see. It's a tablet computer. Looks like it's still in the charging dock. Whoever this Michael is, he seems to know quite a lot. So this Michael has a source who knows about bestowers. About me. This is starting to get personal. A little table and a chair. It'd be a nice place to sit with a glass of wine at sunset, if there wasn't 3 feet of snow out here. It might be pretty in the spring, but for now all the plants are dead.
This is private property, you know.
Oh, hi there.
Yes, hi there. What are you doing up here?
Just admiring the view.
The view is private. Or did George let you through? Either way, you're here now. Anyway, I'd best head back in. But I'm sure I'll see you around. Ta.
Huh, locked. Joey?
Yeah?
The ghost on the roof was George's neighbor. If we can get through to her, she might tell us something.
You say that like it's easy to get a spook to tell us anything. Hi there.
I'm sorry, have we met?
Kind of. I think you met my friend earlier.
I see. You're both looking after George's place.
Yeah, something like that. Who are you, if you don't mind me asking?
Cute. Very cute.
Huh?
Wait, you're serious? Well, isn't this delicious? It's so rare that I get to be the mysterious one.
My name's Joey. Joey Mallone. Why don't you tell me yours?
You honestly don't know who I am?
I'm afraid not.
I admit, I'm fascinated. I know your name, but you don't know mine. It's not often that I'm in this position.
So, are you gonna tell me or what?
I think not. I want to savor this for just a little while longer.
Come on, you know my name. It's only fair.
I can't tell if you're being genuine or if you're just playing with me.
Why not both?
Well, the night is young. See if you can figure it out.
Listen, it's really important that you tell me who you are.
What on earth could be so important?
It's complicated.
No, I don't think so. I'm enjoying this way too much.
Come on, what's your name?
No, this is too much fun. You'll figure it out. Everyone recognizes me eventually.
So what is this, you famous or something?
Or something.
Could I ask you a couple questions?
You don't even know my name, and you want to ask me questions.
Well, maybe if you actually told me your name.
No. Like I said, this is way too much fun.
So you actually live here? So to speak.
Yes? Why are you so surprised?
Well, this place is kinda, well, empty.
I live alone.
That's not what I mean. Look around, there's nothing in here.
What on earth are you talking about?
Never mind. So, about this place.
I might not have the highbrow taste that George has, but my furniture is just as serviceable as his. And twice as comfortable, I might add.
Well, whoever you are, I'll see you around.
Say hi to George for me, if you see him.
Whatever this note says, it's too dark to read it. It says, I know about Heather, and it's signed by someone named Jay. Hi there.
Hello again, mister. What brings you by?
The note is signed Jay. Who's Jay?
I have no idea, and I don't know anything about any note.
I know about Heather. Do you know anything about this?
About what?
This note, the one on your floor.
I have no idea. It has nothing to do with me.
And what's it doing here?
I have no idea.
Okay, relax. Well, whoever you are, I'll see you around.
Say hi to George for me, if you see him.
It's you. Sam told me you'd be swinging by.
Hi, Corey, was it?
No, it's Officer Palmer.
I'm sorry about Leah.
Don't even go there. I don't care what you saw, or what the evidence says. Leah wouldn't kill herself. And if she did, then she wasn't Leah anymore.
Is Detective Durkin around?
I haven't seen him since yesterday. I'm sure he's wandering around somewhere.
You seem to be taking Leah's death rather personally.
The chief would agree with you. That's why I'm shackled behind this desk instead of out there doing something.
So what's the story with you and Leah? I get the impression you knew her pretty well.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I partnered with her back when I first joined the force. She taught me a lot. Everything, really. I owe her. She was a rock. She was a rising star. Why would she flip out like she did?
I'm working on it, Corey. I really am.
That's Officer Palmer, and I'm not holding my breath.
Is there anything else you can tell me about Leah?
Officer Piero was juggling a demanding job, a growing daughter, and a deadbeat ex-husband. There was immense pressure on her, but I still don't buy that she would do what she did.
So Durkin told me to speak to you?
Yes, I heard. Congratulations, I guess. I don't know why you're so special, but orders are orders. You need any information from us, I'll see about getting it to you. But you talk to me, and only me. Understand?
Perfectly. So, what's the latest on George Austin?
He was killed with a .22 caliber bullet. That's all we know so far. We're still talking to Leah's ex-husband, but he's got a pretty solid alibi.
How did Kendra die? Was that ever established?
I read the autopsy report. It was definitely a bullet wound. It went right through her shoulder. Clean hole all the way through. The coroner said that she bled to death, but could have survived if she was brought to a hospital right away. I don't understand this. Not at all.
Did you know Emil Haskins at all?
I don't know much. Just what Leah used to tell me. I got the impression he was a deadbeat. Always out of a job, always late with child support payments, things like that. Guess he doesn't have to worry about that stuff anymore.
So are we good?
Good?
You don't think I still killed anyone, do you?
I don't know what to believe. But Durkin vouches for you, and he now owes me a favor, a big one. So, I guess I come out ahead.
George and Leah both were members of a self-help group. They called it the Grace Group.
Oh yeah, Leah told me about that place.
She did?
Yeah, she didn't go into detail, but I know it meant a lot to her. She used to tell me that nobody could ever fall so far that they couldn't still reach for a helping hand. I'm not sure what that meant, but she used to say it all the time.
Do you know if any of George Austin's neighbors died recently?
It's not in any of the reports. Do you have a name?
No, not yet. But she lived across from George. Can't you look it up that way?
I can't, now. The way the system works, I can only look it up by the victim's name, not address. Sorry.
Do you know anyone named Michael?
You're gonna have to be more specific than that.
Does this phone number mean anything to you?
Not really, but I can trace it for you.
Trace it?
Run the number, see who it belongs to. Within reason, anyway. Where'd you find it?
I found it on George Austin's phone.
Oh, we ran that number already.
You did?
Yeah. It belonged to Grace Church. Probably calling for donations or something.
Yeah, or something.
Thanks anyway. Well, I'd better go. Thanks for the help.
Sure.
If the people who go to these churches worry about their souls so much, they should try dying sometime.
Hi, remember me?
Yes, and would you please keep your voice down?
Sorry. Could you tell me about that book over there?
For some, silent prayer isn't enough. They want to write it down and make it real. That is what that book is for.
Do you know any Michaels?
In my line of work, I know more than I can count.
I checked with the police. This number belongs to a phone in this church. A man I'm looking for made a phone call from this number. His name is Michael. It's very important that I find him.
I am afraid I don't know who you're talking about. I am sorry.
Are you sure you don't know anybody named Michael who made a call from this church?
Quite positive.
The telephone that uses this number, where is it?
Why would you need to know that?
Michael used the phone. Maybe he left a clue behind when he did.
And he could have used any one of a dozen offices in our administration wing.
Really? Over a dozen?
Yes. So, if you want to locate Michael Cooper, you'll have to find another way.
Wait, Cooper?
Pardon?
You said Michael Cooper.
Isn't that the gentleman you're looking for?
No, I just said his name was Michael.
So you did. A slip of the tongue. My apologies. It is quite late and I'm tired.
You need to tell me who Michael Cooper is.
I told you I don't know any Michael Cooper.
You need to tell me who Michael Cooper is.
I told you I don't know any Michael Cooper.
That tactic ain't working, sweetheart. You need to come at this some other way.
Well, thanks. I'll be going.
Stay safe.
Huh. So Michael Cooper was a priest. Interesting. Excuse me.
Yes.
Michael Cooper. He's a priest too, isn't he?
So?
So, it's a pretty big coincidence, wouldn't you say? Please stop lying to me.
I'm not lying.
You're not telling me the whole truth either, are you?
I made a promise. He came to me scared, begging me to protect him, to give him sanctuary. He was ranting. I should have turned him away, but we roomed together at the seminary. We were close friends once. What could I do?
You can take me to him.
He's raving. He's mad. He says he's in a battle for his very soul. Is this true?
Yes. Yes, it is.
He's in the school. It's closed for the winter break, so it seemed like a good a place as any to hide him. Here's a key. The entrance is around the corner. Please, do whatever you must. Just don't come back here.
Don't worry.
So, thrown out of a church. I suppose with our record it was only a matter of time.
The entrance to the school is around the block. Let's go.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. And though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup.
Michael?
Sure.
Michael Cooper.
You! Stay back, bestower. I've got a gun.
Just a second.
I said stay back!
Whoa, calm down. I'm not here to hurt you.
Oh yeah? Tell that to Leah and George and the others.
Others? How many of you are there?
You don't even know that. You don't know a thing, do you? This wasn't the plan.
Plan?
Yes, our brilliant plan. We get the bestower to escort our souls to the next world, protect us from this force that is after us. Instead, you let us be destroyed.
I'm going to stop it. You can trust me on this.
Trust. We trusted you to save us, and look where we are.
I'm sorry. Whatever is going on, it's new. I've never seen anything like it before.
I see. And what about him?
Huh?
Your friend, the man behind you. He hasn't said a word since you walked in here.
Me? Do you mean me?
Yes, you. Don't look so surprised. How else could I have known who you were? Now get out of here. You've been nothing but trouble ever since George went to look for you.
I am so sick of guns.
Yeah, well, I'm sick of all this.
Temper, my host.
That voice. It can't be.
I told you to stay in the other room.
Yes, my host, I know. But I had to intervene. These two know me. If I may...
Fine. Just make it quick. I'm losing concentration.
Mallone, Blackwell, what a pleasant surprise to see you both again.
Yeah, surprise is the word. What the hell are you doing here?
Is it not obvious? You freed me, Mallone, brought me back into this world, and as befits all of our kind, I had a host waiting for me, and so I have returned to my former duties.
Look, as much as I am touched by this reunion, I need to focus.
Perhaps we should all converse outside.
Fine, outside. Just leave me in peace.
Thank you, my host.
You're a bestower too?
What gave it away? The spirit guide who won't leave me alone? Look, maintaining this circle leaves me a bit cranky. Sorry. If you can help, great. If not, well, I've made my peace with it. Just go talk to her. She's outside. I need to concentrate. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
Father Michael?
Yeah?
I can't believe there's another medium in New York.
Medium?
Sorry, I mean bestower. I've been calling myself medium for so long I sometimes forget.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's not like I have anyone to talk to about this stuff. Nobody living, anyway.
Hey, look, I'd love to swap ghost stories with you, but it takes all my concentration to maintain the circle.
Right, sorry. Maybe we'll have coffee later? You know, after we save your soul and everything.
Sure, sounds great.
What is this circle?
Oh, this. Madeline taught me how to do it. It prevents anything spiritual from getting to me. It takes some concentration to maintain, so I'm sorry if I seem a bit inhospitable.
How did you learn what was happening?
You mean that our souls were being taken?
Yeah.
It was a few weeks ago. I was at the bedside of a friend. Jeffrey, his name was. He went to the Grace Group meetings back in the day. Like me. He had been in a car accident. Hit and run. He was dying, and he wanted me there. And when he died, I saw it. His spirit being torn apart. He screamed. I'll never forget that scream.
I know. I saw it too.
Anyway, with Madeline's help, I began looking into other members of the group, and learned it was happening to all of us. You know the rest.
So you're working with Madeline?
Working? I guess you could call it that. I've been too busy being scared to give it any serious thought.
So why'd you send Madeline outside?
Her presence disturbs my concentration, so she's keeping as far away as she can until this is resolved.
What about us?
You're the ones who are going to save my hide. For you, I'll make the extra effort to focus.
Could you tell me about the Grace Group? It was some kind of self-help group?
About 20 years ago, I was a very different person. I suppose you could call me an alcoholic, although I wouldn't have said it at the time. Then I saw an ad in the newspaper. It promised to help folks like me find their way. It seemed to be some kind of hippie self-help group, but I went to a meeting anyway. I don't remember much about the meetings, but somehow I had discovered that going to seminary school was something I had to do. It all made sense.
Made sense?
I just knew it was what I was meant to be doing, and I was right.
Is there anything else you could tell us about the Grace Group?
No. You know everything I do.
What about yourself? Is there anything we should know?
Look, you're not exactly catching me at my best here. I can't do anything. I'm not a true bestower like you are. Madeline says she's been weakened, or I've been weakened, or something. She doesn't know. Believe me, if I could do what you can do, I'd be out there trying to stop this. But I can't. So all I can do is hide.
Did you know that there's a ghost across the roof from George's apartment?
Really?
Do you know anything about it?
Sadly, no. I'm sorry.
What happened at these meetings?
That's just it. I don't remember. Until recently, I never questioned it before. How messed up is that? I'd go, I'd sit down, and leave. I'd meet with the other members for coffee afterward. What on earth did we talk about? We must have found something. But I do remember a man. Benjiro. He ran the meetings.
Benjiro?
Yeah, Japanese guy. I don't remember anything else about him.
How many people went to these meetings?
There were 6 of us. You already know about Leah and George and myself. The others are dead.
Who were they?
Does it matter? They are dead. Their souls were taken.
Even still, tell me.
Jeffrey Dutta, Heather Goffstein, Peter Fielding.
All right, Michael. We're going to go.
Of course. Godspeed to the both of you. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside...
Blackwell, Mallone, it's been a long time since we've been able to converse.
It's been almost 6 months since Joey freed you. How come we're only seeing you now?
I admit the transition hasn't been pleasant. I have had 3 hosts since returning to this world. The first was an old man on the edge of death. He lingered for 6 weeks before finally succumbing to the inevitable. When the old man passed, I became bound to his niece for a time. She ran every time she saw me. I tried to keep my distance, give her time to adjust, but in the end, she fell down the stairs in an attempt to flee. The poor woman died, and I was passed to her brother, the man inside.
Do you know what's going on? Why are these souls being attacked?
I do not know. I wish I did. Like you, we saw it happen. We saw a soul being torn apart and could do nothing. I'm afraid my host became a little unreasonable after that.
Why was George looking for me?
We needed a bestower. A proper bestower. My host and I were not up to the task.
Eh?
It might be due to my time in the void. It might be because my host's soul has been marked by whatever is out there. But in any case, our abilities are limited. We cannot even help lost souls move on as you do. We can see them and talk to them, but that is all. Hence why we needed you.
Lucky us.
So what can we do? We don't even know what's going on.
Our theory was that you could help move these poor souls into the next world before they were destroyed. But it appears that it did not achieve the desired result.
You could say that, yeah.
You must investigate. My host and I are restricted, but you two are not. If anyone can help uncover why these poor spirits are being attacked and stop it, it is you.
So how'd you like being on the outside, as it were? I imagine it's better than being trapped wherever you were.
I had thought, I had hoped, that I would pass on, that being brought back to the mortal world would force me to obey mortal laws. Instead, No, it is not to be. I have returned to my former duties, therefore I must have further work to do. But yes, it is nicer than being trapped in the void. Did I ever thank you, Mallone?
Not as such, no.
Well, I must rectify that. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Anytime.
You should really call me Rosangela.
Forgive me. When you are as old as I am, all the names blur together. So I tend to address those I speak to by their family name. It is just easier that way, and less painful. I'm afraid it is a habit that is difficult to break.
Do you know anything about this Grace group?
I know that it meant a great deal to my host, as well as his friends. Whatever happened at those meetings, it greatly improved their lives. But obviously, it came at a cost.
What can you tell me about Father Michael?
Cooper is my host. We have not had the time to get to know each other better.
Is he always this ornery?
Do have some pity for him. He has lost his uncle, his sister, and several of his friends. He has been forced to accept the spirit world and the possible loss of his own soul, all within the span of a few weeks. If anyone deserves some understanding, it is he.
There's a ghost haunting the empty apartment across from George Austin.
I see. Well, you know your duty. Go and save it.
Michael said that a man named Benjiro ran the Grace Group meetings.
My host has said as much to me, yes. Sadly, he does not remember much about him.
Could you tell me about Jeffrey?
I'm afraid not.
Do you know anything about Peter Fielding? He was in the Grace Group with Michael.
I have never met him. He passed away before I became bonded with my host.
Michael believes his soul was already taken.
He might be right, but he may not be. If his spirit still exists, you are the ones to find it.
Do you know anything about Heather Goffstein? She was in the Grace group with Michael.
I know of her, but I have never met her. She passed away before my host and I became bonded. I never encountered her spirit.
Michael believes her soul was already taken.
It is certainly possible, but I refuse to lose hope until I see the evidence.
Why do you let Father Michael push you around like that?
It is what my host wishes.
So?
Simply that. I must do what my host commands.
Right, seriously. What's the story?
No story, Mallone. If my host wishes me to leave him alone, I leave him alone.
That actually works?
Of course. It is my duty to do so.
So, Joey, could...
No.
Of course, some of us take our duties more seriously than others.
Well, I suppose we'll talk to you soon.
Of course.
Hey, Maddie?
Yes, Mallone.
Can you tell me anything else about Michael?
Sadly, no. We have not had the time to get to know each other better.
Right. We're gonna take off, plan our next move.
Of course.
So Peter Fielding owned a gym in Murray Hill. Worth a visit, I suppose. Looks nice and warm in there. Of course, so would an ice factory right now. It seems to open with a key card.
Run, run, run like a hamster on a wheel. Probably nobody in there with my luck. Hey, anyone in here? Anyone? Please? Well, that was disappointing. The men's locker room. Glad I can't smell anymore. Nobody here.
Hey, does it look right? Seriously, does it look right?
Does what look right?
The light bulb. I could swear it was blinking.
It looks fine to me.
Huh. Gotta do everything myself around here.
Hey, friend, can we talk for a second?
Are you sure there's nothing wrong with that light?
I'm no expert, but it looks fine to me.
Well, what can I do for you?
So what's the story with the lights?
I don't know. It's driving me crazy. There's something wrong with them. I can tell.
Well, like I said, they look totally fine to me.
I'll just have to keep checking.
Hey, is your name Peter Fielding by any chance?
That's me. Why?
No reason. You own this joint, right?
Yes, I do. My dad built it. You could say it's a family business. Been running it around 20 years? Seems like yesterday.
So, how are you feeling?
Fine. Why?
You don't feel strange at all?
What do you mean?
Well, just hypothetically speaking, you don't feel like you're gonna explode?
What, like indigestion?
Not quite.
I am on a strict diet of wheatgrass shakes and fiber. Indigestion is the last thing I have to worry about.
Nice place you got here.
Thanks. You looking to join?
Ah, no, I really don't think exercise is gonna do me much good.
It's amazing how many people think that. You're young. Your metabolism is still going strong. But time catches up with you before you know it.
You're preaching to the choir, Peter, but I'm still not interested.
Well, We're here if you need us.
So, you run this place with your old man, huh?
Sort of. He built it when he left the army. I took over long ago.
So, you run this...
Sort of.
Ever hear of the Grace Group? I understand you went to a few meetings.
You know about that?
Sure.
Wow. Well, yeah. I went to some meetings. It was all I needed.
Why's that?
Well, I wasn't the most focused of people back then. It's a long story, but in the end, I went to work with my dad running this place. It's been my life ever since.
Is there anything else you can tell me about the Grace Group?
What's to say? They changed my life.
Hey, I think I met a friend of yours, Father Michael Cooper.
Michael? Now there's a name I haven't heard in a while. How is he?
He's seen better days.
I'm sorry to hear that. He'll pull through. He always has.
So there's this lady living in a rooftop apartment who might have died there. Do you know anything about that?
That's pretty vague.
Yeah, never mind. It was a long shot. Do you know anything about Benjiro? Ran the Grace Group meetings.
Sure.
Well?
Funny. I can't think of anything to say exactly. It's been 20 years.
Sure, people forget things.
That's it exactly. I just didn't think it would happen to me so soon.
Did you know Jeffrey Dutta?
You know Jeff too?
Not really, I just heard of him.
Good guy. Took care of my neighbor's dog when she was on vacation.
So tell me about yourself, Peter.
I'm the guy who's gonna kick your butt into shape.
Ah, well, we'll see. Do you know Heather Goffstein?
You know Heather too. Who don't you know?
Well, I'm a people person.
Wow, Heather. Haven't heard that name in a long time.
Well, I'll see you around.
You got it. I'll be here. I just gotta see what's wrong with this damn light.
So I found Peter.
Peter? Peter Fielding?
Yeah, he's safe and sound. Spiritually speaking, anyway.
Huh. Michael was sure that Peter's ghost was taken.
Just between you and me, Michael doesn't look to be sure about very much. Hey, get over here.
Uh-huh. What's up?
You want to get a few rounds in while we're here?
I'm not exactly dressed for the gym, Joey.
Excuses, excuses. You want to get a few rounds?
I'm not...
You take note of those names Michael gave us?
They're in my phone, if that's what you mean.
Sure, that's what I meant. For a dead guy, Peter's in pretty good shape. Let's make sure he stays that way. The Deacon, Gavin, Charlie Meltzer, and now Benjiro. It always comes down to one guy, doesn't it? Let's find him so we can give him a piece of our mind. Jeffrey Dutta. That's 3 spooks destroyed that we know of anyway. We need to put a stop to this before it becomes 4. Don't know who this Heather lady is, but Michael's convinced she's a lost cause.
She could be, but he didn't actually see it happen. She might be all right.
You return with news, I hope?
We found one of the Grace Group spooks, Peter Fielding.
I see. Is he still intact?
Yeah, he tried to get me to join a gym.
I thought as much.
You thought so? What do you mean?
You know as well as I do. A spirit cannot be moved from this world until it is spiritually ready. It would appear that is also the case here.
But what about George and Leah?
From my understanding, they were aware of their death when they were taken.
Yeah, they were.
Then there's your answer. They were spiritually ready to leave this world, and so were vulnerable. This Fielding, was it? He is a lucky soul indeed. Until he is made aware, he cannot be taken. Not by you, or by anyone else.
So wait, this is our fault?
Whatever do you mean?
Leah, George. Just by trying to save them, we destroyed them.
I suppose. Yes, it could be seen that way. But please do not blame yourself. How could you have known?
Ignorance doesn't change anything.
Listen to me. Whatever or whoever is taking these souls, they were marked long before they died. All we can do now is move forward and save who we can.
So what? We just leave the spook to rot?
Of course not. It has been known for some spirits to become aware on their own. The right face, the right moment, anything can trigger it. And if that happens to Fielding, no. Our duty is to save him, and save him we shall.
How? The usual rules have been chucked out the window. We make a move and he gets hammered, and we're not gonna let that happen, not again.
It is a dilemma for certain.
You've been around the block a few times, so to speak. Nothing like this has ever happened to you before?
The destruction of the very essence of life? No. Such a thing is difficult to contemplate, and to witness it, even more so.
We need to think about this, plan our next move.
Of course. In fact, I might have an idea along those lines. I must confer with my host. Please excuse me.
He's okay? Peter's really okay?
He is still deceased, but in all other respects, yes. He is as well as can be.
This changes it. You have no idea. You two, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I never even considered that Peter's soul could be saved. And maybe Heather too. Yes, Heather. If she wasn't taken, then her soul must still be lost.
And this is a good thing?
Of course. If a soul is merely lost, it still can be saved. And maybe so can mine.
So, what's your plan?
We are approaching this from ignorance, and possibly from fear. Before I was trapped in the void, I was a spirit guide for a very long time. I can learn much from a spirit by looking at it, and talking to it. If Fielding's soul still exists, then it must be brought here.
And Heather. Heather's soul must still be out there.
And her as well, of course.
Peter Fielding's spook is at the gym. It's not too far away. You can talk to him there.
Are you kidding? I step out of this circle, who knows what could happen? If I die, there's a good chance I'll be an aware spirit, just like Leah and George, and then...
Be at peace, my host. I would not ask you to do such a thing.
Well, thank heaven for that.
Besides, it is unnecessary. As you say, only spiritually aware souls are attacked. Since this Fielding is not spiritually aware, meeting him in his current state would be fruitless. We need to awaken him before I can determine anything about him.
Won't awakening these ghosts destroy him? Aren't we trying to avoid that?
Don't be absurd. We'll put them behind this circle. They will be safe there.
And how are we supposed to do that? Spooks like me can't enter the thing.
This might surprise you, Mallone, but I did think of that. Come here. Take this.
What's this thing?
Call it a totem. It was made with some of my essence. The circle was created in much the same manner, so it will make a perfect focus. When you awaken a spirit, use the totem to send them directly here. They will remain safely behind the circle until we can determine the next course of action.
So I'll be trapped in this circle with Peter and Heather's ghosts?
I am afraid so, my host.
Well, I suppose it can't be helped. And I guess it will be nice to see them again.
Yes.
Is there anything else you can tell me about Peter? Anything that can help us?
No. Of all the people in our group, Peter was the one I spoke to the least. I think George once belonged to his gym, even took personal training sessions for a while. But George wasn't really the personal fitness type.
I need to know everything you can tell me about Heather.
Well, there was one thing. It was a confession of sorts, you see, and she trusted me.
What was it?
You don't understand. It was a confession. It might have been a long time ago, but it was still a sacred trust. I can't betray that trust. It goes against everything I believe in.
Don't you think that under the circumstances, she would understand?
I'm not sure God would.
Does it really matter? What's the worst that could happen? You lose your soul?
My God, when you put it like that. Heather was a prostitute. She wanted to confess, but didn't feel right entering a church. She might have been Jewish, judging by her name, but I think she just wanted to speak to someone who understood.
Understood?
Someone who had been to grace group meetings. Someone who had had a life-changing revelation, like I did. I don't know what her revelation was, but she wanted to purge herself of her old life. So she asked if I could come to her apartment and listen to her. So I did.
Do you remember where she lived?
I was a priest entering the house of a prostitute. It's not something you forget. She lived by Tompkins Square Park. Here's the address.
We're gonna head back out now.
Then I do believe our talk is concluded. I will return outside.
Hey, Madeline?
Yes, my host.
It's all right.
All right?
Yeah, stay inside. It's cold out there.
I don't feel the cold, my host.
I know. Just stay, please, and thanks.
It is my pleasure, my host.
Hey, how'd you get in?
Ah, hello, miss.
Answer my question. How'd you get in?
Oh, the gate was open. Is that all right?
Sure, I guess. Just be sure to close it when you leave. I don't want to get in trouble.
Excuse me, miss?
Oh, hi. What's up?
Is your name Heather Goffstein?
Oh, I see. You came from Ray.
Ray?
Of course. You did come from Ray, right?
Sure, Ray. Him and me go way back.
No, I don't think you do. If you want a date, you'll need Ray's permission.
A date?
Isn't that why you're here?
No, not at all. I just want to talk.
Really?
Really?
Well, I suppose that's all right, but we should stay out here. If we don't go in the bedroom, then it's not a date.
You sure you should be out here?
Why shouldn't I be? It's perfect. It's so nice to finally have a night clear enough to enjoy this place.
Clear night. Right. You live here?
I do. Why?
No reason. Just making conversation. You don't seem terribly surprised that I'm here in your garden.
It is a bit strange you appeared out of nowhere, but hey, I'm used to men appearing on my doorstep. And for some reason, you seem safe.
Safe?
Yeah, just a vibe.
Huh. Thanks, I guess. Can you tell me about the Grace Group, Heather?
Grace Group?
Yeah. You were a member, right?
Sorry, I don't know what that is.
Come on, think. You met in the basement of Grace Church.
What, like AA? I'm not an alcoholic, thank you.
Tell me about Father Michael Cooper.
Father Michael? Is he a priest or something?
Yeah, or something. He was part of the Grace Group.
I don't know him, sorry.
Are you sure? He seems to know you.
You don't meet many priests in my line of work. Or at least, if you do, they don't usually tell you.
So there's this lady living in a rooftop apartment who might have died there. Do you know anything about that?
I don't think so. Sorry.
Do you know a guy named Benjiro?
I can't really say one way or the other. Sorry. I could get into trouble.
Do you know a guy named Peter Fielding? Runs a gym in Murray Hill.
I can't really say one way or the other. Sorry. I could get into trouble.
So, tell me a bit about yourself, Heather.
Can we not, please? Let's just enjoy the evening, okay? It's nice out here.
Sure. No problem. So, tell me about this Ray character.
I really shouldn't. Ray is really exclusive with the clients we're given. I shouldn't have told you the name.
Well, Heather, I have to get going.
Sure. I'd leave the gate open, but for some reason, I don't think that would be a problem for you.
Officer Palmer?
Yeah, what can I do for you?
Do you know anything about someone named Ray? I don't know who he is, but I think he's involved with prostitution.
Prostitution? Is this related to Leah's case?
I don't know. It could be.
This just gets better and better. Anyway, Ray, let's take a look. Okay, the name Ray definitely comes up in the Vice Department database. There was a raid on a bar called Vantini a few years ago, and someone named Ray was taken in for questioning. No charges were made.
Just Ray? No last name?
No. Whoever Ray is, that's his full legal name. Anyway, here's the address of the bar if you need it.
Thanks.
Sure.
Well, I'd better go. Thanks for the help.
Sure.